time. It is time to brew your best beer.
The 2019 Sjporr Challenge Gold sponsors. A special thanks to double gold sponsor Bouncer, keeping the dregs out with an inline filter for homebrewers. BrewTubers Online Brewers Club, forums, recipes, and news updates, and more. Yakima Valley Hops, fresh from the source to your kettle. Omega Yeast Labs, fresh, healthy, unique yeast. Jaded Brewing, home of the fastest immersion wort chiller, the Hydra. Kempfo's 2001 CTSP Pink, the world's favorite chlorinated homebrew cleaner with a unique pink color indicator. And our silver sponsor, the Brew Bag, simply the easiest way to brew great beers at home.
Welcome to the Sjporr Challenge. This is round 2. I was automatically put into round 2, so I'm lucky me. So we are, the first beer that we're going to be drinking is going to be 25M RD2 G42. It's a golden Belgian strong ale, 9%. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped. Nice hiss. There we go. And I've got my small little taster glass, so we're going to do it in taster glass. Very carbonated, which is supposed to be. As you can kind of see, it is going crazy there. Very, very carbed. Not sure if it's bottle conditioned. Kind of looks like it is. Just from the amount of, the small bubbles there, you can kind of see. Kind of crazy. Yeah, so let's go ahead and so it's a beautiful beer, very clear, which is what it's supposed to be. A little bit, say a little bit over carb, but nice head. Looks like the head's staying there. So let's go ahead and try to get a small, see if we can get an aroma on it. Very, very like a deep, kind of like a malty. Not getting any hops. Very clean. Not really getting a yeast, but it's kind of like it smells like a Belgian. So let's go ahead, we'll let that die down a little bit. It's a little bit cool. I'll adjust my grades for as it warms up, but it's a very nice looking beer. So let's go ahead and get a taste. Cheers. Ooh, that's good. Not really a Belgian fan, but this is a really good beer. Very solid, man. Makes me almost want to go out and buy some more Belgians. Get like a 6-pack of Belgians. Wow, very easy drinker for a 9%. I can't even really taste the alcohol. I'm getting it's really sweet on the tongue. Not getting a lot of bitterness whatsoever. I don't think I'm supposed to be getting a lot of bitterness on it. I'll check that out. But it's really, really easy drinking. Very, very impressed. And I wish I had a taller glass. There we go. Kind of settled out now. Very good looking beer. Maybe that first blast was just a little bit overcarb. So yeah, I'm really digging this thing. So appearance, beautiful looking beer, as you can kind of see, very beautiful. Very carved up, just kind of like the way it's supposed to be. So appearance, aroma, I'm not getting anything. anything off. I'm getting a sweet malt, kind of like a, maybe like a straw hay, kind of like an aroma. Just it's very, very pleasant. And the taste is wonderful. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of heat off it now. A little bit. But very, very enjoyable. I really like this beer, and it kind of makes me want to make a Belgian. Kind of, sort of. Maybe I won't, but I make plenty of other beers. So anyways, nice job. Again, this was 25M RD2 G42. And it was the Golden Belgian Strong Ale, 9%. Round 2. I'm out. Peace. And we are back for number 2. This one is going to be, it is a Belgian triple, and the number is 93U RD2 D37. So as you can tell, it's a triple, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing popped. There we go. So from here, it just looks very clear. So let's go ahead and get this thing poured. Not much of a head, but as you can kind of tell, it is carbonated. You can just see the cascading bubbles. Head's not sticking around much at all. But overall, it looks fantastic. I can see the camera right through this thing. Head's not really, it's non-existent really, as you can kind of tell. But it's carved. So let's go ahead and get an aroma on this. Ooh, smells kind of winey. Kind of grape-ish. I can kind of smell the alcohol in it. It's 9.5%. It just smells a little bit hot, but it is 9 and 9.5. Maybe it's a little young. I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and get a taste on this. Cheers. Ooh. It's a little different, very dry on the back end. No sweetness whatsoever. It's kind of like you take a sip. I'm not tasting really much in the hops. I'm not getting the Belgian kind of the yeast flavor that I normally get. But it's still very, very drinkable. I'm just kind of missing the sweetness on the back end. But let me get another sip on this. Yeah, it's very, very dry. It doesn't seem like it doesn't taste like a hop characteristic. It just tastes like it's very, maybe it's too attenuated. And it's just kind of like it, like maybe ate all the yeast or something, or ate all the sugars. But it's very, very dry on the back end. It's got a slight sweet, but very dry. So let's go ahead. So appearance, awesome looking. It's missing the head, and aroma, very, very like kind of like a winey kind of wine flavor, like pear or some kind of like a grape. And then on the very in the body, it's a little bit thin, but it's got a little bit of mouthfeel, but it feels like I'm talking in circles here. But the flavor is it's good, except it dries out. It's just like dries out my mouth like right away. So it makes me kind of like want to drink more, just so I can wet my whistle a little bit more. So anyways, very good beer. I think there's just a little bit of an off flavor on the back end, and I'm not sure if it might be oxidation or what, but I'm not sure about that. But most beers do have oxidation in it, and sometimes you just can't pick it up. So anyways, thank you for the beer, and I will see you next time. Peace. So I decided, so I didn't drink all my beers yet, so my beers are sitting over there. So I decided to get one more in tonight. So we might as well go for a good night tonight and get this one. So the number is 14K RD2 F22. It's a Russian Imperial Stout. Might as well go big or go home, right? So had a 9%, 9.5, and now 11. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped. I'm very excited about this one. Wish I had 2 of them so I can enjoy one later, but you know what? I want to enjoy it tonight. I'll get the maid to get that one later. So let's go ahead and get this one poured. So a little disappointed with my pour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another glass and I'm going to pour it in there and see if I can get a little bit. Well, you can kind of see. Let's just do it. It's got a pretty creamy head, so you can kind of see it. So that was I blame myself on that pour, and I'll be able to test it a little bit later to see if the carb is a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get an aroma on this. Wow, it smells very sweet, roasty, chocolate. Very, not getting any hop whatsoever. I'm just getting a big, kind of little alcohol on it. But it smells wonderful. It smells wonderful. You know what? I'm gonna try to get this. I'm gonna try to get this head a little bit bigger. Hold on there. And I'm back from the kitchen. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna pour this in. So not much difference, but it is a little bit tighter bubbles, as you can kind of see. Yeah, it looks a lot nicer. So let me try to see if I can get anything else on it. Nothing off. I'm not getting any yeast. I mean, the roasted malts would be overwhelming on this thing. Head sticking around, dissipating a little bit, but anyways, you can kind of see some of the carb underneath. Very dark. I mean, it is 11%, so it's got a lot of malt in there. So let's go ahead and get a taste on it. Cheers. It's pretty big. Not as chewy as I was thinking that it should be. It might have been alcohol, yeast. Yeast kind of ate it all up, like I said on the last one, attenuated it. But very, yeah, not as sweet as I think. I'm getting a lot of chocolate notes on it. It seems like maybe the bitterness from either the malt or the hops. It seems like it might have been the malt, because the hops are really non-existent. Maybe a little bit the chocolate malts kind of like taken over, or maybe the dark chocolate, dark chocolate. But still very good. Very, I mean, it's a very good winter beer. Very good fireplace, right by the fire, the campfire. This is really good. I wish it was a little bit more sweeter, but then it would be more chewy, more alcohol, and I don't really need more alcohol. So with the 9.5, now 11. So there we go. So very, very good beer. So appearance, carved up pretty nice. It is dissipated a little bit. Beautiful. It's a beautiful beer. Nice color. Body a little bit lighter. I would expect a little bit heavier. And the taste. It tastes really good. And very drinkable, very good. If it was like a bomber, I'd be sharing it and enjoying the whole evening. So anyways, nice job, and that was number 3, and we will see you probably tomorrow night. Peace. Thanks. Okay, we are back, and the next beer we're going to be drinking tonight is, the number is 82T RD2 C64. It is a hoppy Pilsner, 5.2%. So there you go. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped. Not much of a hiss. So let's go ahead and get this thing poured. There's carbonation. Nice carb. Look at that. Nice and crisp, clean. Nice bubbles, nice Pilsner-like quality. Look at that. It's in a Pilsner glass too. Very, very nice. Appearance, knocking it out. So let's go ahead. Yeah, real light. As you can see, real light. Clarity is freaking perfect. Bubbles cascading. Head sticking around. Nice and pillowy. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and get the aroma. Hoppy Pilsner, should smell a little bit of malt, and then, but let's see if we get some hops on this. Not too much. It's I'm getting a little bit of like a clean, like a little bit of a grapefruit, citrusy, but very clean. Very light though, it's very light. So let's go ahead and get a taste. Cheers. Very earthy. Very earthy. It's bitter. More bitter than I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more of a, since it's a hoppy Pilsner, I was expecting, it is hoppy. It's just not, it's not as kind of fruity or a little bit of a like flowery. It's mainly bitter, very like a dry, earthy kind of bitter. It's solid beer. It's just not. It's more like just a Pilsner than maybe the hops kind of like faded out on it, but it's really good. It's just that it's not as aromatic and hoppy that I was kind of hoping for. But still solid beer. 5.2. This is kind of a pounder. We can drink this thing all night long. Body real light, light and crisp. Very easy drinker. And there you go. So let's go over appearance. Freaking, this thing is freaking just awesome looking. Just really awesome. Not much on the aroma. A little bit of kind of like a earthy, kind of like citrusy. Now that I'm getting the taste on it, it's calling it earthy. And then the flavor, very kind of like just a bitter Pilsner. Bitter Pilsner. I wouldn't call it hoppy, but bitter. And then light on the body, but overall pretty solid beer. And I'm happy I got to taste this one. This is actually a very beautiful beer. So there you go. See you guys in the next one. Peace. Okie doke, it is time for our next beer.
it is an IPL. So pretty solid. I just did a Pilsner, now we're doing an IPL. The number is 58Q RD2 K91. 58Q RD2 K91. So it kind of sounded like it rhymed. It did a little bit. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped. And we are going to go ahead and get it poured. Very, very nice. It's got good carb, a little cloudy, but good carb. Nice head, as you can see. So, it's a little bit cloudy, great carb, and the head is sticking with it, so great job on that. Good carapils or whatever you put in for that. So, let's go ahead and get an aroma. Oh, wow, this smells good. Oh yeah, it's solid. Nice, citrusy, very lemony. It's almost like, yeah, it's almost kind of lemony. It's really, really nice. So, let's go ahead and get a taste on this. Cheers. Wow. So it's a little bit bitter on the front end. Through the middle of it, it's really solid. I'm thinking it does have the lemon citrusy kind of flavor. It's really, really, and then it's like bitter on the back end. So I'm liking this one. This one is really, really good. Yeah. Very clean, very yummy. I really, really like it. Very, it's kind of like more, not like, it's more like an IPA, like an English style IPA, where it's not too bitter, but it's really, you can kind of taste the hops in it. It's really good. So let's go with it. So appearance, a little bit cloudy, but that's about the only hit on it. Very light. You can still see through it. Good head, good lacing. So pretty solid. For the aroma, I'm getting a citrusy, lemony kind of aroma on it. It's very, very solid, and the flavor is fantastic. I really, really like the flavor, and I also the body. It's a light to medium, or a light medium. So it's really good. So overall, very solid beer. I really, really like this one, and actually I would love to have this one on tap. So there you go. Got 2 down tonight. See you guys later. Okay, it's time for the third and last one of the evening. So the number of this one's going to be a double IPA. So the number is 47P RD2 J67. So it's a 9% double IPA. So you can see why I waited for this one to be last. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped. Small hiss, and let's get it poured. Good carb, nice and clear. Good color too, not too dark. Even though double IPA can be a little bit dark, but this one's very nice. Very curious about the malt bill on this one. So, and then the head, look at the head, very pillowy, very nice looking. See the carb, very clear, awesome looking beer. So let's go ahead and see if we can get an aroma on this. Oh yeah, it's pretty dank. Very West Coastish. It's get kind of resiny. Very resiny. A little bit of pine. There you go. So let's go ahead and get a taste on this. Cheers. Oh yeah. This is like a West Coast double. Yeah, it's got really good flavor. Not overly bitter, but it's very solid. Now for double IPAs, you're supposed to really get a good pop for aroma. I'm not getting the big pop. It's not. I mean that's not anything wrong with it. It's just that for BJCP, which we are not doing BJCP here, but it's supposed to be like really poppy. It drinks a lot like just a West Coast, like a 6% beer. Very, very light. I'm getting a lot of bitterness on the back end, but really it's just a very solid beer. Very nicely done. So let's go ahead and look at the lacing on that. That's freaking awesome. So let's go ahead. Appearance. Badass looking beer. Got good head. I got good carb going, pretty much. Got good lacing, pretty much perfect. So very light for a double IPA, but still within style. And let's go ahead. Aroma. I'm getting a little bit of the resiny kind of like I wouldn't say Cascade-ish, but kind of like a Columbus kind of like smell, West Coast-ish. So it's very, very dank, and flavor. It's a pretty solid beer. Expecting a little bit more bitterness, but I don't think I'm expecting it for a double IPA, but for a good, easy drinking, get you messed up beer, this is very, very doable and very downable, like poundable. So very impressed. This is very very good beer. And then body, good body. It's a nice medium body, good slickness going down the throat, and overall pretty solid. I really like the beer. So good job, and I think that's it for the evening. And I will see you guys. I don't know about tomorrow, but maybe Sunday. I might see you Sunday. See you guys later. Peace. Okay, we are in the final evening of the Sjporr Challenge beers. So the next one is going to be, it is a New England IPA, and the number is 71S RD2 B82, and it's got the old like bottle ID form on it, so I'm just going to take this thing off. Blah, blah, blah. Put it there. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this guy. There you go. Let's get a pour on this. Ooh, a little dark. New England IPA, and it's a little dark, hazy. It is hazy. A little bit of brown. Looks like it might be oxidized a little bit. So there you go. So let's go ahead and see if we can get aroma on this. Oh, I'm getting a nice like a, let me see, kind of a fruity tropical kind of note. Yeah, it smells pretty good. I mean, so heck, let's go ahead and dig on in this. Cheers. Oh, I'm getting a lot of coconut, getting pineapple. It seems a little bitter. a little, and on the back end, it's like a lot of. I'm just getting a full mouth of like bitterness. Plus, I'm getting a little bit of flavor. Now, I'm trying to note, because it's a New England IPA. It's a little bit discolored, so I'm thinking that it might. I would taste the oxidation. I can't really taste the oxidation. But I mean, it tastes like a typical New England IPA. So it's got good lacing. It looks hazy for a New England IPA. It looks hazy. It's got a nice head. It's carved up. The aroma is there. So and then with the flavor is pretty. I would say I like the flavor. It's just that it might be a little bit more bitter. New England IPA, I don't know. So, and then mouthfeel is good. It's got, like I said, good carbonation. I mean, I don't know if you can see the bubble still going, but it's nicely carved. So, overall, it's a pretty. I would say it's a pretty solid beer, except for the possible oxidation. I'm not getting a lot of taste oxidation on the taste, but you can kind of tell the color. So that kind of detracts from it. But there you go. Thanks for the brewer, and I will be back in a few minutes. Peace. Okay, it's time to move on to the second one, Sjporr challenge. This is number, I believe, 8. We got 9 of them here. Yeah. So Sjporr challenge ID is 36N RD2H24. So it's a New England IPA, and it's 5.3%. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped. Ooh, sorry about that. So let's go ahead. Ooh, good fill right up to the top. That means more drinking for me, huh? So let's get this thing poured. Oh, look at that. Nice color. Very nice color. It's for New England, it's not really as hazy. This is kind of like a typical beer. But does it have to be hazy? I would say for New England, that's what you're selling, right? For New England, you're kind of selling the haze. But it's all about taste. If I can drink it, just call it an IPA. So, but this is called a New England IPA. So let's go ahead and see. Well, let's look at the appearance. Head's dissipating a little quicker than I would really want, but you can tell it's carbonated like crazy. So, and it's a nice color, very nice color. A little clear. That would be my only mark. Well, that and the head's not sticking because it's like opaque, right? I mean, it's gone. So let's go ahead and get a whiff on this. Oh wow, that smells good. I can tell it's fruity, and I'm just getting mainly the fruits. Very like citrusy. So let's go ahead and get a taste on this. Cheers. Okay, I'm actually getting more of, I'm not really getting the fruity flavor of it. I'm getting a little bit more of a not earthy, but it's like very tame for an IPA. I can't identify that fruit flavor. It's a hop, and I've tasted it before, and I just can't identify the flavor. But it's pretty good, and yeah, it's rather enjoyable. Kind of curious what the hop is. So anyways, it's got great lacing. Look at the lacing on that thing. It might not leave a head or anything, but it's carved up. I can get the head back like real quick, as you can see, and it's tasting pretty good. So let's go ahead. Appearance, it's pretty good looking. It should be a little bit more cloudy for New England. Should have a little. The head should have a little bit more staying power. The lacing is fantastic. Aroma is very good. Nothing off. I don't smell anything off on it. Flavor, don't taste anything off on that. Body is pretty good for a New England IPA. Very light to medium. Not much going on. Carb is really good in the mouthfeel, and overall, pretty solid beer. The only thing I would have to say that the only thing that I would say wrong is if you're calling a New England IPA, it should be a little bit hazy. That's all I got. But if it's good, that's all that really matters, right? Right. So anyways, I'm out of here. Got one more after this, and I'll be right back. Peace. And then there is one. One is left. So this is 69R RD2 A73. It's called a Mango Milkshake IPA, 6.3%. So for one, sounds interesting, and looks like it's it's got lactose in it, so it should be creamy, right? And it should be hazy. So let's go ahead and get this thing popped. Nice little hiss. And we'll get this thing poured. Here we go. Ooh, it is carved up. It is carved up. It's got some haze. Nice, nice. It's got a nice light haze. It's got good head, and it looks a little dark for oxidation, but I mean, who knows? So so let's go ahead and get a whiff on this thing. So what we're thinking is it's a mango, so we should get some fruit on this, right? And probably some citrus. So let's go ahead. I'm getting a twinge of mango. And I'm getting a very citrusy. Yeah, I'm getting mainly the mango. Or it's imprinted in my mind that the mango's there. So let's go ahead and get a taste on this. Hey, we gotta prove that the mango's there, gotta taste it, right? Cheers. Wow. Way more bitter than I was expecting. Way more bitter. And I'm getting a lot of the mango, but it's like a mango bitter, and I'm not sure what's causing that. Yeah, so it's really good. A little bit more bitter than I was expecting. I was expecting the sweet, the lactose to kind of counter. So I'm not getting the creaminess that I was expecting with the milkshake. So it's very different. I wasn't expecting it to be bitter. And I think that would be my only comment on this thing. I was expecting a little bit more sweeter. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this thing reviewed. So lacing is freaking fantastic. Head's great. It's beautiful beer. It's got a nice little haze. So there's nothing wrong with the appearance. Aroma, I'm getting I'm getting a mango. I'm getting, you know what? As it's warming up, I'm getting a little bit of the kind of a yeasty, kind of like off aroma. So I don't know if maybe it was still fermenting out in the bottle or what. But it's still got the haze, so that you're not going to be able to see it there. And then flavor, it's a really good flavor. It's just more bitter the whole way through. So I'm kind of like, I'm a little bit, I was expecting a creamy, sweet hop flavor. So that's what I was thinking. And then what else? Let me get another sip on this thing. So overall, very solid beer. I'm just getting a little bit of a I'm just like the bitterness on the back end is what I wasn't expecting from this New England IPA. So anyways, still solid beer, and I would pay for this to be out in town, but shouldn't be any buts. But so anyways, I would drink this out in town. So anyways, I am out of here. That was my last review, and we are done with the Sjporr challenge, and I will see you guys next year. Peace. Maybe Homebrew USA or a homebrew homebrew Wednesday. Peace.